Okay, good day everyone. We will be continuing our discussion about forensic ballistics, specifically the branches of forensic ballistics. So far, may na-discuss na tayong branches, which is the three main branches of ballistics. When it comes to ballistics, automatic papasok na agad itong tatlong branches na to. So again, they are number 1, interior ballistics or internal ballistics. Number 2, external ballistics or exterior ballistics. And number 3, terminal ballistics. Balikan din muna natin yung konting definition itong tatlong branches na to. So for the internal ballistics, this is the study of motion of projectiles inside the gun, while inside the gun. The movement of the projectiles as it goes through different parts of the gun. And external ballistics is the study of motion of projectiles upon exiting the muzzle and before hitting the target. So all the motions upon exiting the muzzle up until before hitting the target will fall under the external ballistics. And once the bullet or the projectile hit the target, the branch of ballistics that studies that is the terminal ballistics. So yun lamang po yung general or brief definition of those three branches. Let us continue. Ano pa ba ang branches ng forensic ballistics? Of course, we have the forensic ballistics mismo. So binigyan na natin ng definition si ballistics na words. Sabi nga natin, ballistics is the science that deals with the motion of projectiles. Isusulat ko po yan ulit dito. Science that deals, di ko nabubuin, that deals with the motion of projectiles. MOP, yun nga po ang palatandaan natin. And when we connect the word forensic sa word na ballistics, automatically, naiisip na po natin na ibig sabihin ng forensic ballistics is the science that deals with motion of projectiles used in investigation and identification of firearms. Okay? And based on our notes, ito pa ang definition. Forensic ballistics also refers to the investigation and identification of firearm. Diyan pa rin ang keyword natin, investigation and identification of firearms, by means of ammunition fired through them. So ammunition. Bigyan ko lang kayo ng reminder. Si ammunition ay ang ammunition na yan, si cartridge and si bullet or si projectile. So related yung mga yan, pero hindi sila specific parehas. There are different times to use these words. I-clarify natin yan, of course, dun sa chapter where we will be talking about cartridges. For the meantime, ammunition is a more general term with regards to bullets or cartridges. So, yun lang muna ang ang panghawakan. It's a more general term when it comes to cartridges and bullets. So ano pa? Forensic ballistic also is the real branch of science which the police use as their guide in field investigation. So ito yung ballistics na talagang ginagamit or applied na mismo in the field, okay, during crime scene investigation and whatnot, So katulad ng ibang branches, meron din pong attributes of forensic ballistics. Ano to? Number 1 or letter A, field investigations. So field investigations ay ginagawa ng mga first responders, okay? So generally first responders. However, as the SOP of the PNP po, written in the PNP manual, ang first responders mainly ang nagre-receive ng calls and unang pumupunta sa mga crime scene. However, when the crime scene requires to be examined, kapag ito ay sensational crime or meron ito ay ibang klase ng degree ng crime, tumatawag po ng backup si first responder sa SOCO team, which will then be the one assigned to examine the crime scene. Okay? So, again, generally first responders, of course, pero ito po ay nagfo-fall din po under the examination or the job of the SOCO team, no, or the forensics teams, no. Okay, and in field investigation, they investigate a case wherein firearms have been used. Of course, in field investigation of the forensic ballistics, we will be this only focuses on crime scenes wherein there is clear proof that guns has been used, no. Paano ba natin masasabi 'yon? Of course, dapat when can we say firearms are used, no? So there are when it comes to the victim, there are gunshot wounds. Okay. When it comes to the surrounding, there are bullet holes. Holes that are made because of the bullet fired from a gun. Okay, ano pa? Presence of a gun in the crime scene. So, of course, hindi lagi na kapag may presence ng gun, automatic if ballistics na agad ang kailangan. Pero usually, if there is the gun in a crime scene, understood that that is possibly used during the crime. But if not used, no, walang may presence of gun pero walang bullet holes, walang gunshot wound, then medyo magiging irrelevant ang presence of guns. Therefore, hindi magiging necessary ang forensic ballistics. Though the gun might still be used to extract information such as the identity of the perpetrator in the crime scene. So bukod sa field investigation, let's move on to the next, which is the technical examination. Okay, gusto ko lang po i-clarify for this part na exhibits, yan, nakalagay dito, of ballistic exhibits. Reminder lang po, exhibits are also terms used to address evidence, no? To indicate evidence. Kasi exhibit na po yung tinatawag sa kanila once they are passed and presented in the court. However, they sometimes interchangeably used with the word evidence. Okay. Technical examination of ballistic exhibits are conducted by firearm examiners in the ballistics laboratory. Okay, dito na po yung importante, no. It is done in the laboratory to determine the value of the firearm exhibit and the solution of the case. Okay, kung si field investigation, saan ginagawa nga po ulit? Indicate natin sa crime scene. Crime scene involving what? Firearms. Kailan natin masasabing involved si firearms? There is a presence of a gun, there are bullet holes, and there are gunshot wounds, no, relevant to the case. Therefore, the crime scene probably involves firearms. Okay? Afterwards, kapag ka nasa laboratory na po, this will fall under technical examination. Okay? Ito na po yung ginagawa during nasa laboratory si ballistics evidence, no, for examination and further confirmation of information and investigations. No, dito nangyayari ang magic kasi nandito na ang mga equipments in ballistics, no, na ating pag-aaralan din further on. Of course, after examining exhibits or evidence, it will be used as evidence in trial. So, dito po papasok si legal proceeding. It includes making ballistic reports. Okay, kung hindi pa kayo aware, no, na kapag kayo ay nakapasok sa serbisyo, anumang law enforcement agency yan, you will probably meet reports. Hindi nyo yan maiiwasan. Lagi yan may report na ginagawa. And same goes with forensic ballistics. If you examine a gun, if you examine the bullet, you will be making a report. And that so-called report will be passed and used sa korte, no? By the way, kung aware na kayo sa expert witness, of course, I assume you are very much aware on the term expert witness. Hindi naman po always needed ang presence na for the expert witness, no? For the convenience, no? Dahil nga ang goal ng ating court is for a speedy trial, for convenience po, sometimes ang pinapasa na lang po is the report made by the experts. And if necessary, those reports are showing a sign of doubt, no? Kapag merong kaduda-duda when it comes to the report, therefore, nire-require po or nire-request po ang presence ni expert witness. Pero again, for the convenience of the resources and the expenses of the court and both parties, offended and defendant, mostly po ipinapasa na lang po ang mga reports. Therefore, ganun po ka-importante ang report na yan, especially when it comes to forensic reports. And presentation of presentation of the result and examination conducted before the court. Ayan na po 'yon, no? So gumagawa ng ballistics report and presentation niyan during court proceedings. 'Yun po ang legal proceeding. So balikan lang natin saglit. So another branch of ballistics is forensic ballistics. Definition of ballistics, science that deals with MOP. MOP means motion of projectiles. Okay? Isa pang definition of forensic ballistics, it refers to the investigation and identification of firearm by means of ammunition fired through them. Ammunition is a term that is more general than the cartridge and bullet, no? But it also refers to those said word. Katulad ng ibang branches, there is attributes of forensic ballistics. Number 1 being the field investigations conducted by who? Generally, first responders. However, yun nga, first responder based on the SOP of the PNP, first responder po kapag nakaharap po ng isang sensational crime or heinous crime which requires the presence and the process of the SOCO team, ang magpa-process po at ang magkakandak ng field investigation ay si SOCO team or the forensics team. Okay? At saan ginagawa si field investigation? Sa crime scene. Crime scene that involves firearms. Kailan natin masasabing nag-i-involve ng firearm ang crime scene? There is the presence of a gun, there is bullet holes, and there is gunshot wounds, no, sa victim. Okay? So, pwede bang isa lang doon? Probably no. We will best confirm the presence of a gun in a crime scene kapag mayroon niyang tatlong yan, no? And maybe more, actually. So, bukod sa field investigation, we also have technical examinations. Technical examinations are done in laboratory. Okay? Exhibit, again, is a word also referred to or used to indicate evidence. Okay, so technical examinations are done in laboratories and where the equipments, the necessary equipments are located. No? Ang mga equipments kasi ng ballistics, most if not all, is hindi po portable, hindi siya kadala-dala. Okay, so required talagang mag-process ng examination sa mga laboratory for further information and further investigation. No? Once na gawa na ang examination, it will be written, no? It will be written. The results will be written, which is the ballistics report. These reports will then be used and passed on to the court as evidence. No, it will be presented to the court as evidence to further resolve the case. Okay, so bukod sa forensic ballistics, meron din pong shot ballistics. Hindi po yan yung shot na umiinom. Shot ballistics. Shot or slugs. Slugs are the term used for ammunition ng shotgun. Kaya po shot ang tawag. Shot ballistics naman po is the study of shotgun ammunition. Ayan na, nakalagay na pala dito, sinulat ko pa. It is the study of the shotgun ammunition, including its characteristics, ito na, spread, and trailing. At ang isang importante para maintindihan natin ang spread and trailing ng shot ballistics is the choke. Okay, yung choke, hindi po yan yung hindi ka na makasalita o kaya yung sinakal ka. The choke is the diameter of the barrel of a shotgun. Okay, recall. Ang shotgun po ba may riflings o wala? And kung walang riflings, ang tawag doon? Smooth bore. Dito natin lagay. Smooth bore. So, choke refers to the diameter of the barrel of a shotgun if it's the same throughout the bore. The bore of the gun is sometimes constricted near the muzzle. Constricted means pinaliit. Okay? Or, sige, lagay natin yung ibang pwedeng magamit. Narrowed. Kunyari may ED, hindi na kasya. Near the muzzle end. That is, the diameter near the muzzle end is slightly smaller. Ayan, isa pa. Slightly smaller than the diameter of the bore of the rest of the barrel. Okay, paalala lang po, ang diameter is, halimbawa, ito po yung barrel ni shotgun nyo. Kunyari, bilog. Diameter will be the measurement from one side to the other. Yan po ang diameter. Baka nakalimutan nyo na sa geometry nyo or sa math. Okay, that is the diameter near the muzzle and is slightly smaller than the diameter of the bore. So, kapag ka-idea nyo, kapag halimbawa ito yung barrel, pag meron po yung choke, there is the end of the muzzle is slightly constricted, no? Smaller. Ayan, parang may ganyan siya na konti. Ayan. Kunyari, muzzle yan. Hirap mag-drawing dito sa stylus pen. Ayan. Meron pong pampaliit dito banda sa dulo. So, bakit ba ginagawa yan? Kasi po, the amount of spread in the shot is controlled by the choke. Okay? So, kung gaano kakalat ang pellets or fragments of the bullets or shots rather, ay nakadepende po sa choke. Okay? Diyan po nakadepende kung kalat ba ang sabog or medyo constricted. No? Dikit-dikit. Okay, so there are different kinds of choke. Pag sinabing full choke, tandaan 1 mm. 1 mm. So, yung, halimbawa, lakihan natin. Ito si barrel. May ganyan na part. Ayan si muzzle, no? Kunyari straight. So, ang sukat nito is 1 mm. Yan, matatawag siya na full choke. If a barrel will put, if there is a full choke, the barrel will put 70% of its shot in a 30-inch, 76 cm circle at a 40 yards. Okay, so linawin natin. So, ang shots or ang slugs is maraming bulitas, ang bala ng shotgun. Okay? Halimbawa, para mas for the convenience of computations, sabihin na natin 10 ang pellets ng isang shot. 10. Kapag naka-full choke daw po ang isang shotgun, okay, yung 10 na yon, 70% ton, which is 7. No, probably 7 pellets ang tatama sa isang 30-inch. 30-inch. So, yung sukat po yan ng target. Halimbawa, yan ang target at ang sukat po niya is 30-inch or 76 cm sa layo na 40 yards or 37 meters. Napakalayo po niyan, 37 meters. Okay? Pasok pa rin dyan yung 7 out of 10 na pellets kapag naka-full choke. Ganun po siya ka-accurate. Okay? Ayun ang isa pang term dyan. Accurate choke ang nakakatulong. Okay, ano pa? A full choke 12-gauge gun will kill ducks at about 6 to 67 yards. Yan yung effectivity nung naka full choke na shotgun, no? Kaya pang pumatay ng duck, no? Fatal pa siya sa mga ducks. 55 to 59 meters away, napakalayo na po niyan. Okay? If I'm not mistaken, sa ating field, 50 meters would be like from the gate up to the catwalk, or doon na sa may sa may building na yata, na main building na yata natin, going to the mansion, if I'm not mistaken, na doon sa PLT. Full choke. Siyempre meron ding half choke, yung kalahati lang yung sinakal. Hindi, siyempre pagka 1 mm ang full choke, ang half choke kalahati ni millimeter, 1/2 millimeter. So ang sukat nito magiging 1/2. Ito tong part na to. So kapag 1/2 millimeter, again, syempre mas spread ang ating mas magiging outspread ang natin, ang pellets kapag binaril, no? Of course, ito ano tawag dito? Typo to. 1/4 millimeter dapat ang quarter choke. Okay, again, mas buka na naman, and then tandaan, pag mas spread ang pellets, mas maikli ang distance na masasakop niyan. Okay? The wider the spread, the shorter the distance. Okay? And improved choke. Poor constriction is used by about 1/10 millimeter or about 50% of shots. Okay? Improved choke naman, 1/10. Mas maliit na po yan sa 1/4. So, konti lang talaga yung 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 paliit nung sa unahan ng barrel, katulad nito. Kunyari, maliit lang yan. Okay? At magiging effectivity no is 50% of the shots na lang ang tatama doon sa target. Okay? Kaya nga kapag duling, mas madaling gamitin ang shotgun kapag hindi accurate ang ang tawag dito, hindi maganda ang accuracy ng iyong pag-shot. Ang magandang gamitin is a shotgun. Dahil sa lawak niyan, siguro sapul yan, no? Pag modified choke, it will deliver about 60%. Modified choke, yung iba pa yung klase ng mga ng choke niya sa barrel. No, posibleng sa taas lang ang mas sa baba or sa gilid. Yung mga ganun lang. Halimbawa, yung bilog. Halimbawa, yung choke dito lang sa gilid. Yung ganyan na modified na choke. Kaya sa taas lang ang medyo constricted. May constriction. Kasi pag ganito po, palibot po yan na constriction. Siyempre, for purpose of drawing and diagram, yan lang ang makikita nyo, the side view. Chilled shot. Pellets made from lead, specially hardened by the addition of slight amount of antimony. So, alam natin na most of the bullets, if not all, is made up of lead. Okay? Pero, ang chilled shot is ginamitan ng antimony or inad ng antimony. Para saan? Para mas tumibay ang pellets. Therefore, pagdating sa constriction, hindi sila agad hindi sila maapektuhan ng choke. Instead, mas magiging efficient pa po sila. Kasi hardened sila, pag tama sa choke, sa mga choke ng baril, hindi po sila mag-i-spread, no? Unlike the other. Imagine niyo pala, by the way, ang choke is kapag may hawak kayong hose, di ba, ginagawa niyo yung tinatakpan yung sa dulo ng hose. Tapos, mas nagiging constricted yung strike ng tubig. Tapos, mas nagiging malayo yung tama ng tubig kapag sa hose. So, ganun din po umiiral itong choke natin sa shotgun. No? The more constricted the pathway ng barrel or the muzzle, mas magiging malayo at efficient ang shots or pellets. At mas buka, mas malapit lang po. The wider the spread, the shorter the distance. The shorter the spread, the longer the distance. Okay? Wound ballistics. Next tayo. Wound ballistics. It refers to the study of effect of projectile on a target and the condition that affect them. Okay? Based on the word itself, wound, Tagalogin natin para sa mga nangangailangan. Sugat. Okay? Effect ni projectile when it comes to making wounds. Okay, what is a gunshot wound? It is an open wound produced by the penetration of a bullet slug within the tissue of the body. Bullet or slug. Okay, penetration of bullet or slug within the tissue of the body. The bullet, which was propelled from the gun, as well as the flame from the heated expanded gas and short-range fire, is the one that produces injury. Okay? Ayan, the bullet was propelled. Ayan, yung heated gas pa eh. Kaya pag tama ng mga bala, mainit pa talaga yan eh. Bukod sa init yan, yung impact ng pagpasok niyan and penetrate yan sa balat or sa muscles and tissues natin. Yan po talaga yung pinaka mas nakakapagpa grabe ng epekto when it comes to the wounds. Okay, factors influencing the enters and exits of the wound. Okay? So, syempre, minsan po, ang bala, pagpasok, hindi na lumalabas. Yung iba naman, pagpasok, lumalabas pa. Or tumatagos pa. Okay? So, ano yung mga nakaka-apekto when it comes to the entrance and exit wounds? Huwag kayong mag-alala. Ano pa natin yan? Elaborate pa natin yan. Number 1, kind of weapon. The higher the power of the weapon, the more destructive to the tissue of the body. So, syempre, pag mas malakas ang baril, mas malaki ang, damage sa tissues ng katawan. No? Kaya kapag mas mataas ang caliber, usually, mas mataas ang caliber, mas malaki ang epekto or damage sa katawan. Next, caliber of the weapon. Ayan ay number 2 pala. Caliber of the weapon. The higher the caliber of the wounding bullet, the greater will be the size of the wound entrance. Okay? Sabi natin, ang caliber, ano nga po ulit yan? Yan po yung distance ni bullet. Again, from this side to this side. Or, pagdating sa rifle, sa riflings, yan po ang distance from land. Sige, drawing. Hirap talaga mag-drawing dito sa stylus. Yan. Distance from land to land. Yun po ang caliber. Siyempre, pag mas malaki ang diameter ng bullet, pag yan bumutas sa'yo, entrance, mas malaki din yung butas. Medyo common sense doon. Shape and composition of the missile. The conical shape, free end of the bullet slug have more penetrating power but less destructive. Conical. Ito. Yung mga bullet po na ganito ang itsura. Cone. Okay. Mas malaki ang penetrating power, no, kesa sa tissue destruction. Kapag ganito ang bullet, yan, yung mga common na bullet, mas malaki ang tissue destruction yan was tumama. Imagine niyo na lang po yung ripple effect pag sinampal ka sa pisngi, yung pagbuka nung unti-unting pagbuka ng balat ng balat ninyo. No, ganun pero may penetrating power. Talagang sure ball na tatagos sa loob ng laman ninyo. Mas malakas doon. Okay? So kapag ganito, conical ang shape, mas malakas ang penetrating power niyan kaysa sa tissue destruction. While bullet slug with hemispherical free and less penetrating power, ito yan. Hemispherical, conical. CH. Some bullets were made to be deformed upon heating. Heating. Dapat ang heating na spell yan yung pagtama. Okay. Some bullets are made to deform upon hitting the target like the hollow point. Ito naman po yung sinasabi ko sa inyong bullet na pagdating sa dulo, ang drawing niya ganito. Na medyo blanco yung sa loob, yan, ganyan. Kasi pag once tumama po yan, bumubuka po yan sa loob ng laman and tissue, which then will be adding to the destructiveness effect of the bullet. Bullets made of hard metals like Magnum 44 and the armor-piercing bullet are not usually deformed upon hitting the target. Now, of course, yung mga